Mike here, April 8th, and it's 8:34 a.m. Central Standard Time. And, given all the discussion and how everybody's getting all upset over tariffs, and then again, a lot aren't getting upset that understand that it's the medicine. And matter of fact, it's the way it should have been in the beginning, right? When you do business with people, you don't give them the better deal, right? Well, that's what was going on. And there's a lot more than that going on. But the bottom line here is I'm over here at the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, and we're at the Fred Economic Data Site, St. Louis Fed. And what we're looking at here, and this is a perfect illustration as to what happened to the United States and why for the past 50 years things have been getting worse and worse for us. Okay, and debt, look at our debt position right now. And look at our jobs position and the sustainability of our economy, unless we get more debt and more debt and more government programs and more government employees. That's not the way to live life. Okay? So in 1973, I think that's the year that Nixon cut the gold tie to the dollar, and we went from the Bretton Woods Agreement that was established in World War II to what my money and banking professor would call the dirty float. So what is meant by the dirty float? The dirty float is that the US dollar was no longer pegged to gold, and all the currencies that were pegged to the dollar that had to maintain their currency valuation, okay, be disciplined about it. Nobody was pegged to anything real, so people, central banks and governments, could devalue their currency to get trade advantages. They could maybe get into excessively, maybe abusing their currency by spending too much money and creating too much debt and issuing too much currency. So it got wild. So the whole international system became more volatile. But look here, at 1950 all the way to 1973, 4, in that ballpark, look how stable that was. And then, right there, you can start to see it. There's 73, right there. And what happens after? And it's getting worse and worse, isn't it? I mean, if this was your checking account or a battery discharging, I mean, you would get it, right? Oh my God, well, what's been happening is this is just one indicator. And you have balance on capital account. Where are we? Behind the line, under the line again, with some pretty good spikes, huh? Balance of payments for the United States. Under the line again. I mean, at some time you should be above the line. Under the line for years and years and years. Not a good situation. So that's the medicine that Trump is trying to do with the tariffs, and it's not even medicine, really. It's what's fair, and all this reflects, to a degree, all the tariffs that others were charging, while we weren't charging any. Now, I don't know what kind of business people we had running things, because by the looks of it, the whole deck was stacked. The whole economic model was for the benefit of definitely not the American people. I mean, we're the ones left holding the bag. 30. Where are we now? Approaching. 35 trill. Approaching. We're going to be at 40 trill by the end of the year. And everybody wants to fight the change. Going back to where we were before. We shouldn't even be paying income taxes at all. Tariffs should be running the government, not the working man and woman, not the entrepreneur who busts their ass and takes risk and makes profits, okay, providing services that people appreciate, and then they got to pay taxes Forget it. We've been screwed since 1913. Screwed and tattooed, and then the result is it's everywhere. Any chart you want to open, any chart you want to look at. And I just love the Fed's, look at this, 2020. That's the size of the recession of 2020. Look at that little teeny thing. Oh, but 2008-9, that's pretty fat. And then what do we have here? Oh, 9/11. Yeah, on this chart. So I think that's, check them out. You can look up the definitions for the different, headings, what it means. This is what they're not telling you in the news. Just, oh my God, everything's going to go up. You've already been paying through the nose for shit already. For how many years? 50 freaking years. That's how long, practically. I would say it really got going in the 80s. That's when it really got going. But we paid through the nose for the oil, didn't we? In the 70s. Oh, yes. Oh, boy. And I remember people in the 80s. I remember in 1985. People were all excited about doing business with China. And I also remember that everybody could afford their insurance, health insurance. And, mom and pop shops had no problem providing group plans. And you could just get right out of college and get a job. And insurance was included and you had full health coverage. And it was like, hey, there might have been a $5 copay for an office visit or something, but that was it. No deductions. It was an affordable insurance. Everybody could afford it. And then what happened by the 90s? Oh, let's go back over here. Let's see if we could see any, we could see here we were set up for a nice long drop down there from 1990 down. Yeah. And that recession, 1990, come on. That sucker lasted several years. Look at that. 2020, give me a break. But again, this is the Federal Reserve, and they have their definitions for what a recession is, and so they're not lying, okay?